1998, Stephen Norrington's Blade began his hunt for viewers. The US production with an R rating had a budget of $40 million and pulled alone in America $70 million back. Got mixed reviews but was a great success with the audience and is regarded as the secret starter for the superhero movie wave of the recent years. It is based on Marvel's same-named comic series. The character of Blade, a vampire who hunts other vampires and is not affected by sunlight, garlic or silver, first appeared in 1973 in The Tomb of Dracula issue 10, and in his own comic in the mid-70s and mid-90s. Vampires live in mafia-like family structures hidden for centuries among the humans, who sometimes collaborate in favor of power or advantages. Like in John Carpenter's They Live with aliens instead of vampires.
Who said I was a vampire, huh?
Born vampires are the main leaders, and those who are later turned by bite are treated second choice, like the vampire Deacon Frost.
Deacon Frost. You can come in now.
Blade is a so-called daywalker, whose mother was bitten during pregnancy. For revenge, he chases and kills vampires, with all abilities of a vampire but none of their weaknesses, besides the bloodthirst, which he suppresses with a serum. Frost wants to change his status, and to achieve his goal, he makes the only logical and meaningful thing, what any of us would also do. Of course, evoke a vampire god with Blade's blood who turns all humans into vampires. Because that really makes sense. The brilliant soundtrack is from Mark Isham, but what most people connect spontaneously with Blade is confusion by New Order, from the opening scene during the Dance Club Massacre. Director Stephen Norrington debuted 4 years ago with the extremely underrated Death Machine, which contains many references on the genre. In the far future of 2003, a defense contractor manager discovers in her company a giant war robot that responds on the fear of its victims. She teams up with eco-terrorist burglars to stop the Death Machine. The very entertaining dystopia is an interesting RoboCop Die Hard clone with some gore effects. In 2001, the drama mystery thriller The Last Minute followed. The US-UK art film about the descent of an artist who falls into the London underworld after his great success has a very good soundtrack. It was only shown at festivals and appeared in a few countries over the years, like here in Germany in 2008 on DVD. Unfortunately, in 2003, Norrington punished mankind with The League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen. The completely messed up Alan Moore comic adaptation suffered from technical difficulties. Left out and false written original characters like the vampire, the integration of stupid new ones like Tom Let's Treat US audiences like children Sawyer, and a dispute between director Norrington and lead Connery, who co-produced. Since then, nobody has seen anything of either. More details in the first part of the Alan Moore retrospective V as in Vendetta.
You better wake up. The world you live in is just a sugar-coated tunnel. There is another world beneath it. The real world. For thousands of years, they have existed among us.
When I saw Blade with my girlfriend in the cinema, we didn't know the comic, nor did we have any idea what to expect. I was very positively surprised by the unusual take on the vampire theme, which had long been overdue. Sadly, this only lasted until Frost reveals his well-thought-out plan, namely turning all humans into vampires and destroying, of course, their main food source. On top of that, there's the god-awful CGI final, which gives you eye cancer even when you just think of it. We have here a fantastic, awesome first half.
And one will try to stop him.
And an extremely trashy second one, but still entertaining and highly recommendable.
Blade's mother was attacked by a vampire while she was pregnant.
Half immortal.
carnal. I'm something else. Blade. There's a world beyond the one we know.
In 2002, Blade 2, Nomak is the carrier of a new mutation of the vampire virus. He runs around and bites not only humans but also vampires, who also mutate into so-called reapers. Blade teams up with vampires to fight this threat. The second part, directed by Guillermo del Toro, is quite okay on the technical side, but suffers extremely from a boring as fuck story, which is completely foreseeable and crawls tormenting slowly. The new vampires with nonsensical split chin look like a desperate attempt to be original, but are simply unimaginative annoying crap.
It seems to me we can't get enough of our boogeymen. What's your take on all these rumors we've been hearing about vampires?
2004, Blade Trinity tried its luck. Blade accidentally kills a man who had false fangs to look like a vampire, which then causes him to be arrested. He is rescued by new allies, who by the way developed something to destroy all vampires at once. But this would only work if the blood of the very first vampire is added. It turns out that vampires are behind his arrest, who conveniently dug out Dracula himself. And at the latest now it's clear nobody gives a fuck about the story. Blade's stupidity has so many mistakes that I would rather simply list what was done right. Namely nothing. Everyone involved looks like he wants to be somewhere else, especially Wesley Snipes. If someone tries to distance from the old stereotypes with a modern take on vampires like with Blade, but then including Dracula himself, it just shows the total lack of understanding of the source material. The stake in the heart for the franchise was stacked by David S. Goyer, who also wrote the scripts for all three parts. However, we should not experience the sad highlight of his franchise extermination tour until 2016. When he formed a nightmare team with Zack Snyder, apparently to destroy the DC universe before it gets started. So that Disney Marvel can pull out the boring garbage without any serious competition. In which every story is cooked with the famous Marvel formula, also known as predictable as fuck, to get a harmless pulp, which is then praised by clueless so-called critics up to the stars. No matter if the source material was slaughtered beyond recognition and even the name is a lie in your face. Already hated on, of course, fair and objective analyzed in the second Spider-Man retrospective, Cub vs. Spider-Boy. In 2006, the TV series Blade appeared with 13 episodes and follows the events of the last movie, but actually not really, because the virus released there at the end has not yet wiped out all vampires. Blade works with a woman who becomes a vampire herself while trying to avenge the death of her brother, and the audience gets a better insight into the world of vampires and their structure. The series is very well cast and has an exciting story that none of the movies can match. The only negative is the wrong choice for the main antagonist, which simply isn't intimidate enough. Unfortunately, it ends on a cliffhanger since it got cancelled after the first season. 2011, Blade appears as fourth and final show of the Marvel anime series, comprising 12 episodes like the others. Blade is visiting Japan on a mission where he not only confronts Deacon Frost, the vampire who killed his mother, but also goes up against Existence, a mysterious organization of vampires.